So I should point out, as we talk about public performance and how audience members feel, and what we are passionate about, I should point out that you're wearing a sweater that has the NBA logo knit onto it.
Yeah, NBA. I support the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't even have a team. I just support the NBA.
So that's what I want to know. Okay, so we're back now to you torrenting around the horn in PTI and falling in love with sports in a way that is confusing to me because and this is the part of like all Asian Americans know everything about each other, or all Asians know anything about each other. I don't know what it was like to grow up abroad, learning about sports from across the world.
Yeah.
How did you fall in love with any part of sports from that distance?
Yeah, if you come from Singapore and Malaysia, we watch a lot of English Premier League soccer. And I always found it also incredibly stupid. Here's your clip for Singapore about how Singaporeans will, for some reason, pick a English Premier League team arbitrarily based on current success or the jersey color, and then support their stupid colonial team so passionately that they'll get angry, like genuinely angry at other Singaporeans who supported the rival team. So I get the love. I never got the hate of it, that tribalism. So for me, how I started joining was just to troll my friends. I would pick the team everyone hated. And I'm like, yeah, I support these guys. And so at the time, it was Chelsea because they got bought over and they had a ton of money.
Yes.
And they were winning. And I was like, yeah, I support Chelsea. So I go around, Singaporeans, Liverpool, everyone's a Man U supporter because they grew up in the 90s. In Singapore, everyone became a Manchester United.
The equivalent of being like a Cowboys or a Bulls fan in the 90s.
Yeah, but this is worse because this is Manchester United supporters who've never been to England. And if they went to Manchester, would get their ass kicked by Manchester people because that's how they roll there.
And also, I think this is an important point that I want to clarify. Singapore, British colony once upon a time. Yeah. There is also the backdrop of literally rooting for the empire that put its boot on your throat.
Yeah, I never got that. So I just bought Chelsea to troll people, and then it became kind of like a genuine love of Chelsea.
I'm noticing a recurring theme here of your use of hatred transforming into love.
Yeah. I like to. That's my transmutation. I like to. That's my alchemy. I turn hatred into love. I support Chelsea and love telling people I support Chelsea and seeing how angry they would get. They'll be like, why the f*** do you support Chelsea? I'm like, I support Chelsea for the same f***ing reason you support Man U or Liverpool or the stupid Arsenal or whatever you... By the way, Arsenal's it's not even a location in London. There's nowhere called Arsenal. When you support Arsenal as a Singaporean, what are you supporting?
Wait, that was your gateway drug? Was trolling EPL fans in Singapore?
That's how I got. And then also, thank you, Michael Jordan, they would show Michael Jordan
Ronny
games.
just pointed to the sky to thank Michael Jordan.
That's how tall he is when I stand next to him.
But by the way, so again, we're talking about what year roughly?
This is 94.
So you were rooting for Chelsea and the Bulls and Michael Jordan.
Well, I'm not from America. Well, I used to live in Manchester, New Hampshire, but I didn't have I couldn't claim a US team, because I never really I felt it was like false tribalism to try to claim it. So for that reason, I never supported an NBA team. I just love basketball. So in fact, if anything, whenever two teams played, I was always like, oh, who's the underdog, So I was following the Knicks a lot, 94, 95.
Yeah, as they lost a lot to Michael Jordan.
Great win for the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan, 55 points.
Yeah, they lost a lot of Michael Jordan. They also won a lot, by the way. They went to the finals twice, I think.
They played the Spurs in the finals, lost to the Spurs in the finals.
Yes. They had that team was Chris Charles, Charlie Ward, who was a Heisman-winning quarterback and tennis prodigy and starting NBA point guard. Underrated athlete, Charlie Ward.
And they lost to the Rockets, I should say, as well in the finals. But this team, by the way, Chris Childs punched Kobe Bryant in the neck.
Oh, yeah, great. Another reason why he's a good guy. And then Marcus Camby, who took on David Robinson and Tim Duncan by himself because Patrick Ewing was injured and somehow didn't break his spine. Obviously, Sprewell, Allen Houston. Yeah. And that was like a fun team to root for. I would use them in NBA 96. I was like a Knicks specialist. Houston, it was great.
I was doing the same thing. in New York City at this time,
Yeah.
I'm realizing.
What do you mean?
I was born and raised in Manhattan.
Yeah.
I was rooting for the Knicks
Yeah.
against Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Yeah.
I was also playing as them in video games.
Yeah.
Trying to live a life that they would not deliver in person,
Yeah.
winning a title.
Did you ever manage to get online and play online games with NBA?
I wasn't playing online.
Sorry,
at that
it
time.
wasn't 2K. It was NBA Live.
Wait, so you were playing
Online,
multiplayer online?
Yeah.
Okay, what is young Ronny Chieng
Yeah.
like on a gamer headset in like
No.
90 late night?
What are you talking about? We didn't have headsets.
Oh,
yeah, this is like late 90s. We used the dial-up modem. So first of all, you would have to actually know the person in real life. There was no lobby. You would have to like
Man,
join.
you're right. Of course.
Yeah, you would have to go.
Of course.
You would have to tell your friend in class, like, hey, let's play right now. Are you ready to play? Okay, then hang up phone. The modem would go through the phone. Oh my, I sound so old now. Like
Yeah,
the
your
internet
modem would scream at you.
The modem would scream at if you pick up the phone. Modem would be like, shut the up, put me back. And you had to hang up, and then you probably up your internet.
Yeah. If your mom picked up your phone,
Yeah.
your game was over.
Yeah, you would hear all the porn, and it'd be over.
Of course, I was going to ask, were you on America Online? But of course you weren't.
No,
because
of course
you were
not.
in
We only heard about that in You've Got Mail, the movie. Right? We all like, what's the mail? What is this? Like, why is that internet so weird? Why do they do everything so weird? Why is it like feet instead of meters? Why is it like Fahrenheit instead of Celsius? Why is QBR ratings like an arbitrary? What is the QBR rating? 91.5623. It's like pi or something. Like, make it 100. I love how you're dancing around sports with me, but you don't want to ask me the hardcore sports thing, man.
Oh.
I'm an encyclopedia up here about sports, but we're not talking about sports at all.
You want me to test you?
Test me.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me clarify your expertise.
Sure.
So you know the
NBA,
EPL?
90s NBA.
Okay.
I've read every Patriot book
What does that mean?
about the New England Patriots.
Really?
Yes, I've read every single one. About Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, everyone. Patriot Reign. All of
Why?
them. Yeah, the one. What do you mean?
I mean, of course, I find it interesting. I find these books interesting.
Bill Simmons, I read all his books. I read the books that Bill Simmons recommended. The one that got breaks of the game. David Halberstam.
Yeah. About the Trailblazers.
Trailblazers, yeah. Bill Walton, the better version of Jokic, probably. Bill Walton, right? But we don't have enough clips about him, so we can't.
Well, his feet. He got
his feet
deeply
broke,
injured.
First of all, but I'm just saying in the play style, point center.
Let me ask you an NBA nerd question
Please.
about passing big men.
Sure.
Who is the passing big man, not from America, that everybody thinks would have been one of the great passing big men?
Oh, Sabonis.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
of course.
Sabonis, an excellent passer. You got to really watch him. Look at that behind the back.
And if they feel they can make the shot, he does. Great pass.
You are a genuine
I'm
NBA
the guy, man. Baby, I'm wearing this.
encyclopedia.
I'm not wearing this for no reason. I'm representing the NBA on this podcast.
It is a deeply Asian thing to come into a podcast studio being like, do you have a test for me?
Yeah, bring it. I'm trying to establish my sports bona fides on this thing.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, so the Patriots, though, okay.
yeah, Patriots.
What about that is intriguing to you as somebody who literally cannot claim to be an American patriot
Yeah.
in that way?
I kind of was like, okay, well, I used to live in New Hampshire, so I guess that's.
You got to explain that.
Oh, okay. My parents went to college very late in life. They went to college in Manchester, New Hampshire, and they went to college after they had 2 kids. So I moved to America when I was 3 years old from Malaysia, and then they did their undergrad and postgrad, and then they went back to Malaysia. So I left after that. So I was in America from 3 to 7. But we were good immigrants. We didn't take any jobs. We left. And so that's my memory of America was 89 to 94, Manchester, New Hampshire. That was like, my whole life was that.
So you actually do have some sort of affection for the region.
Yeah, I got huge affection. Every time I go back there, I talk about, every time I perform in Boston was our Chinatown.
I wanna call you out on the hypocrisy of your love, though, because you said before that you love underdogs,
Yeah.
and here you are fetishizing the New England Patriots.
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing I love more than an underdog is a great system.
Wow.
And you know, the idea, you know, that their philosophy of like always on to the next game, just do your job, don't care about the hype, focus on what didn't go right versus what did go right. I think Bill Belichick might be the first Asian head coach. We have our representative.
That's right.
Is Bill Belichick.
That's right. Well, on the sideline, he does have his son there, and
Yeah.
it's very clear that he does not approve
I don't know about that.
of how
but-
good he is at his son, Steve Belichick, at his job.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if he doesn't. I think he loves his family a lot, actually, based on the 2,000 hours of Patriot documentaries I've seen. I think he actually loves his family a lot. He loves his dad a lot.
That's right.
He loves his dad, so I'm sure he, I don't pretend to know him, but I'm sure he passes that on to his son, that same relationship he wants to have.
Family being very important to Bill
Family is
Belichick,
very
also
important to him,
quite
but
Asian.
he's got, I was just enamored by the whole idea of the team before yourself and ignore the noise. Ignoring the noise is something that I think in comedy you have to do that, because you have to ignore the haters and just focus on your jokes, which is part of what we were talking about earlier about bombing.
Yeah.
Overcoming adversity and bombing is like you gotta ignore a lot of the noise. And then also you have to like focus on the present, which is very Buddhist. He's very focused on the present. It's always the present.
What do you think having a 37-year-old?
We're on to Cincinnati. It's nothing about the past, nothing about the future. It's right now we're preparing for Cincinnati.
Okay, do you feel like the talent you have here is good enough?
We're getting ready for Cincinnati.
He's the first Asian head coach, man. I'm telling you, it's like there's no tomorrow, there's no next. It's right now, this game. And then after the game, it's like the past doesn't exist. It's just now. We only live in the now. And the success that they have at the time was like put the team above the individual, which don't you think that's a very un-American approach to anything?
Yeah, I mean, look, when the Patriots ran out at that Super Bowl at the same time as a team, that was not a thing that we had seen before.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, choosing to be introduced as a team, here are the American Football Conference champions, the New England Patriots.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
And so, but here's where it is now, though, right? Is that the Patriots are ass. They're struggling.
Yeah, but it's look at the data points. Look at the overall picture. You're picking one outlier data point, and this NFL is always about overreacting. Everyone is overreacting, which is why ignore the noise is actually more prescient than people understand. Because how many times NFL week 1, or like we're gonna win the championship, or it's over. Blow it up after week. Blow it up. It's over. And it's like, guys, everyone just calm down. If you watch Tom Brady, as I have for thousands of hours on Facebook Watch, Tom versus Time, he talks about like, it's like every year is different, first of all. Every season, every team is different. That's what he says. And that he says like, you build like, you have preseason to figure out your hypothesis of what the team could be, and then you test it, right? And then you build from there. So it's like,
I did not anticipate that you would be this much of a New England Patriots fetishist.